Yo, what's up? It's your boy Sariki. You already know Charlie Afrobeats Unruly, Oyege Nation. Um, you know, media. You guys know me that. You know who I be. If you don't know me, I go by the name Sariki. Artist, entrepreneur, promoter, business. Businessman. Um, industry. Mogul, manager, artist manager. You already know. So, um, I go by the name Sariki, as I said, Charlie. So if you don't know me, that's my introduction. Yeah, today I'm actually here to talk about the Ghana Telecel Ghana Music Awards 20 I think 2026 or 2027. I think they do the awards, to reflect whatever happened last year. So yeah, um, I must say, generally, I watched it. I was able to watch it, and I would say that. If I'm gonna give them like if I'm gonna rate it, or if I want to scale them from 1 to 10, to be fair, I'll give it like an 8. You understand? I think they did well. I think they did well. To even still manage to let it happen amid everything that's happening. With regards to venues and stuff like that. And also something I might say is I think this year's TGMA, like the music awards, was not really publicized so much. Like the anticipations were not like it used to be. You understand? It used to be like a big deal. It's still a big deal, but I feel like it used to be a bigger deal. If that makes sense, it used to be like a bigger deal. Few years back. When when there's a Ghana Music Awards, you know that Charlie, something needs to happen where we need to, everybody anticipates like hard work. People really care about it. Do you understand? I'm not saying they don't care about it now. However, I feel like it's kind of it's going down. So I would urge the organizers to get back to that touch, whatever they were doing before, um, um, you know, whatever they were doing these past years, they should just go back to it and pick it up and make sure the artists will kind of, really care about the awards and people also, because it's an interaction between artists and the fans. I mean, the public. You understand? But yeah, in general, I would say I'll gladly, give Chatterhouse, you know, um, an 8/10, and just to say, well done, congratulations for a successful event, and yeah. So, um, the next thing I'd like to speak about would be how do you call it? Would be the performance. The performances, on the day, on the night. I would say there were great performances. The best one I enjoyed would be R2B's. R2B's. The even me watching from home, I could feel it. I could feel the whole energy in the room, even though I wasn't there. If you understand what I mean. So, I think R2B's really did their thing. They performed. It was a master class performance. I would say Mugi's Payday, bruv. These guys, were killing me. Shout outs to Payday and Mugi. Shout outs to R2Bs. You already know. And also the next performance, Black Black Sheriff. Yeah, yeah. Thumbs up. I like the performance. Like I feel like when if Black Sheriff performs, he's got like an intentionality behind his performance. He always performs like if you look at his performances, you could tell that he knows what he's doing. Like he's been practiced. He does certain things intentional. If you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I'll give it up to him, and pretty much everybody that performed. Uh, I like the Daddy Lumba tribute. Shout outs to big ups to Raskuku. You know Raskuku, he killed it for me. And big ups to Foreign Ponsa and the rest. They also did their thing. I loved it. So in general, I really kind of enjoyed the whole performances. Yeah, so that's about performances. With the whole, how do you call it, presenting, I mean the MC. Shout out to Giovanni, my boy. Shout out to Nashoko, I think that's her name. Yeah, I think they did splendid. Like they didn't do too much, they were just like on point. They don't, sometimes presenters want to say too much and it takes away from the moment. You understand? They didn't do that. They made sure it was, like short and nice. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So shout outs to them and big ups to them for that, because that's really that really kept the whole momentum going. And the guests, like people who were coming in and out, everybody was splendid. So the next would be the appearances, like the dressings, the costumes. I loved everybody's costume. To be fair, most people, not everyone, but most people. I would say I like Mona Gucci's dressing. It looked nice. I wasn't too sure about the weather, because what she wore looked like I can imagine, like the heat that she would be dealing with, because I know Ghana, I'm Ghanaian obviously, so I know how hot Ghana can be, and that this time's proper hot. So I'm thinking, it's fine to wear, it's beautiful. However, how is she feeling? Like, is she comfortable? Like I should imagine she's really sweating down there, like in her, because yeah, that's like a winter sort of fashion, if that makes sense. And Black Sherif, not too sure about what Black Sherif wore. I'll be honest, I love Black Sherif. He's my guy, and like, you have no idea. He, if you know me and you know where I come from, and you know my type, the music I make, then Black Sherif is like my go-to. You understand? And he's just somebody I can really relate to, because he's from the same background that I'm from. You know, he's also a Muslim and I'm Muslim, and he grew up like in the Zongo, and same to me. So he's my guy. However, one thing I'm not too sure about Black Sherif personally is his dressing. His dressings don't really captivate me. I'm yet to see him dress in a way that I'll be like, wow. And that doesn't take anything, that's not taking anything from Black Sherif, but it's just like my fashion sense being like a G. You understand what I'm saying? I don't see the dressings don't give me like a G vibe, if you understand what I'm saying. His dresses don't really, I'm not saying he dresses bad. It looks good on him, but me, maybe it's because of my background, as I said, from the street. From the street it's different. We don't wear certain things, and we don't want to appear in a certain way, which is not a bad thing from Black Sherry, because you need to understand, when I follow his story, I could understand where he's coming from. He's coming from another settings of the of the Zongo, because you need to understand, we have like different ways of the Zongo. For instance, if you grow up in a Shaiman or a Shaiman Zongo, it's a different level. If you grow up from Nima, different level. So he's from Konongu. So I'm appreciating the fact that maybe this kind of dressing would kind of work from the ends there. You understand what I'm saying? But Black Sherif is my guy. I wasn't just too sure about his dressing on the red carpet. And yeah, and what's his name? Ochiami Kwame. Yeah, funny. Yeah, it's cool. I love it. It looks good on you, Ochiami Kwame. Well, yeah. And I guess red carpets, award red carpets are for things like this, like for gimmicks, and people should to talk about something. So you have people tend to dress in a way that is a bit talkable, like people will talk about it. But yeah, it was a decent one. Sorry about that. It was a decent one. The dressings were cool. You understand? And yeah, so that's basically what I have to say about the dressing. All right. The next thing would be audience. Um, I would say with regards to the audience, I think they did well. I think they comported themselves well. So I would say that